Good evening, guys. This is Justin here. Just wanted to give you guys an update on some of the projects. I'm going to try to start posting, probably at least once a week, and then we'll see if I can increase those postings after that. I've got a pretty busy schedule right now with travel and a baby and everything. So typically I got to make these videos on the weekend, but it's been over a year since I've had this truck, and it's probably been well over 9-10 months since I posted as to where we are on this thing. So as you guys can kind of see, we've made a little bit of progress. Probably doesn't look like we've made much progress with the floats sitting on top of the roof there, but just want to kind of go over what we've got done so far. We've actually made a lot of headway, and hopefully this thing will be done at least by the time the baby is here, or at least back together so I can roll it out of the garage. But wishful thinking, but hopefully we'll pull it through. That's the deadline I put on it. But just want to show you guys what we've done so far. If you hadn't seen, or if you guys have been following, which it's been so long since I've posted, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys no longer following. But the engine's in it. We've got the wires plugged into it. We've got the headers on it. We actually got to remove the long tube header off the other side because it's colliding with the transmission installation. And I'll be honest with you, these Flowtech headers, it's just like anything else I bought aftermarket for this thing, and I don't know why everything aftermarket for this thing just has decided that it is not going to fit. Hindsight being 2020, I would have put some shorties on this thing, and with the way these are fitting, I still might do that. But anyways, so I'm going to have to undo the passenger header on this thing to get the transmission to bolt up to it. Do have the radiator in it. That's a whole nother story in itself. We're going to have to run a exterior transmission cooler for it because I'll show y'all later on, probably in another video, but I ordered this thing and they sent me the one for the 5-speed transmission, which is, I guess, is fine, but it's got these plugs like it's supposed to have, for the transmission cooler lines, and then I hooked them up and got to looking at it and looked inside the radiator, and the lines just go straight into the radiator. So for all you auto mechanical guys out there, you guys know that the problem with that is the transmission fluid will mix with the water, and I can't imagine all the kind of havoc that would have created. So plan is to probably cut the transmission lines, and I'm really trying to think that process through and just hook it up to the external cooler, which I was thinking about running an aftermarket one anyways, and then that way you're bypassing the radiator. I'm sorry. So you do get a battery in it, so all the lights and everything work in it. We also got the door panels are back in it, which is probably kind of hard to see in here. Let me get a light real quick. So guys, you can see you got the door panels in there. Everything's in pretty good shape so far. So got floor mats in it. 4x4 shifter's not in it. Other door panel. Think about recovering that with maybe a tan cloth interior, but really just wanted to get them off the top of the truck and get them inside of it. Another thing is the back's all put together and everything. Both power window motors have been rebuilt, so all the power windows work in it. And then really that's about it for the inside. So we need to order a light switch and a wiper switch. And thinking about that too is like almost everything in this truck has been replaced almost. But luckily the electronic parts are fairly cheap, and that passenger window motor was good. Had to order a new one for this side. Was actually able to kind of cobble one together, saved a little bit of money doing on that. Took some parts off the old motor and put it on what was almost like a core that still had a good engine on it. So a friend of mine and I, we have actually, you can kind of see on the light here, we've rebuilt the transmission in it. So it does have a brand new transmission in it. We took it apart and it probably would have gone another 20,000 miles, but like with any of these AODs, the overband was looking a little bit rough. And then we looked into the valve body and it had a bunch of debris in it as well. So I just went ahead and made the decision to go ahead and rebuild this transmission. I got a brand new torque converter on it. You guys can see the header in the way there. So really the things we got to do here is, in order to get this thing to fit, I got to pull that passenger side header off. And we also got to pull I'm going to pull the shifter linkage off, and it should make it a little bit easier because, I mean, that thing weighs a megaton. So, you know, all new bands, clutches, seals. You know, I think I've got $350 in the transmission, and we rebuilt it ourselves. Would I do it again? You know, depending on how this one turns out, yeah, I probably would do it again. It's a lot better than paying, you know, $2,500, you know, well, call it $1,500, $2,500 to have someone do it for you. Now, mind you, obviously that would probably come with a warranty, and, you know, you're obviously not under the truck, sweating to death. But, you know, another thing we got is transmission jack. You know, Ford, I don't know why they did this, but they've got these pans with a bump on the bottom of them. And I just don't understand why they do that. I mean, I guess it holds fluid in the bottom so it can pull it through the filter, but man, it makes it almost impossible to sit it on there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this thing back out and put it on some 4x4s. And then the reason we stopped is it was getting late that night. It took pretty much a better part of the day to get this transmission put together. And, you know, we weren't really working super hard. But we did, you know, it did get on later into the evening, and mind you, we had some other errands to run. So what we're gonna end up doing is I'm gonna go to Harbor Freight, or, you know, well, I work for a jack company, jack stand company now, and order some tall jack stands for this thing, get it way up in the air, and we should be able to get the transmission installed. And then obviously gonna get rid of this jack too, so it's for sale. If you guys would like to have it, message me. But yeah, so we made a lot of progress, and I just want to give you guys an update on it. I know I hadn't been updating that much on it. You know, we just had a lot of stuff going. But, you know, outside, not much has changed. Still got the hood over here. And, you know, but we've cleaned up the big heavy parts out of the garage. All the heavy lifting and heavy assembling has been done. We're just waiting on the jack stands and for some more time, and we should be able to hopefully button this project up. But, you know, guys, like, subscribe, and I will keep you guys updated on this project. And then, you know, like I said, I'm going to try to keep posting here. I've got, you know, 2 other cars in the garage that we can post up on if we're not posting up on this. But, you know, my biggest thing is, you know, a lot of people just don't understand also, you know, what kind of, you know, money goes into a project like this. I mean, that's why these projects take so long. You know, if you don't take your time, find the parts, and I'm going to do a video on how I bought parts for this truck and how you save money buying parts, because a lot of guys just go out to the store and just, you know, go to AutoZone, just buy it right then and there. But there's additional ways to save that money. So I'll be making a video doing that, but that's all I got for you guys today, and hopefully we'll have something again for you here soon. Thank you.